Landlord is trying to negotiate us out of our 3-year fixed lease. I am not op. Original post from our house finance. With updates in our house legal. By you, Hazelnut Iced Cough Original. Our new landlord, bought in January 2023, is trying to negotiate us out of our 3-year fixed lease. First offer was $5,000. We rejected and now they're offering $20,000. I still think we should reject the offer. Is that nuts? QLD. Link. Basically we locked in a rental well under current rental rates. We started living here in 2021. And after a year we renewed in 2022 for 4 years with no rent increase or clause in rental terms. Allowing for it, we have the place until 2026. The landlord that initially signed the lengthy lease sold the unit. Now the new landlord as of January 2023 wants to move in their elderly father. Not sure I believe this. But not the point. We don't want to leave. Because we're in a renovated 2-bedroom 1-bathroom unit in Brisbane's CBD for $435 per week. It's great. And right beside my husband's place of work. We believe the unit would go for no less than $200 per week more than we pay. So that's $31,200 over the next few years. Plus risking rent increases every year, requiring us to move around, like many people are facing currently. And we feel immense gratitude for our situation. So if our landlord offers $20,000 payment with no bond cleaning or carpet cleaning for us to move out within the next couple of months, would we be completely foolish to reject the offer? First update. Landlord offered $20,000 for us to terminate fixed lease 3 years early. We refused. Now they're filing with QCAT. Link. TLDR of previous post. Old landlord signed 4-year lease. New owners bought in January. Now want to move in their father and have us leave early. We don't want to leave. The unit would go for no less than $200 per week more than we pay, costing us over $30,000 and losing excellent housing stability. Our fixed lease is until July 2026. Edit. We refused the $20,000 and asked for $60,000 as our lowest number we'd accept. They didn't agree to that. So now they've told us they are taking us to QCAT. Does anyone have any experience or advice here? Do we just wait to hear from QCAT? I don't know how likely it is that QCAT will approve their application to end the fixed-term lease on the basis of their father moving in. But now I'm feeling rather worried they may get us out after all. Note. QCAT is the small claims court in Queensland, Australia. Most issues with tenancies etc. are dealt with there. Comment. In reply to various encouraging comments about their chances. Yeah, my partner and I both suspect they may live outside of the country. We think it's simply someone who purchased without really understanding the length of the lease remaining and thinking they could easily kick out the current tenants and jack up the rent to current market rates. Final update. Landlord, REA took us to QCAT after we denied their offer of $20,000 to leave our 4-year-long lease 2.5 years early. Link. I'm just popping an update in for anyone curious regarding our previous posts. Hopefully this is allowed. Basically we moved into our unit in 2021 for a 12-month lease, after which our previous landlord offered to renew for 4 years in 2022 at $435 per week. 2-bed 1-bath in Brisbane CBD. Earlier this year in January, we get notified our previous landlord needs to sell. The new real estate agent representing the new landlord that purchased the unit from the previous much cooler landlord, not 6 months later, informs us the landlord wants to move their elderly father in, asks us to leave in December 2023, offers us $5,000. We respectfully refused. They offered us $20,000. Still, The value of our unit and the housing stability in this current rental real estate crisis were worth far more than that. So we refused again. We then got notification from Ray that they'd take us to QCAT. They lodged this seemingly half-effort application on the grounds of hardship with no supporting evidence or documentation. The owner of our unit is listed as a company on this application. And up until this point we never heard from or knew who the new owner, Landlord, was. When I posted regarding this QCAT lodging, Redditors recommended I reach out to Tenants Queensland, Q-Stars, which is a state-funded free resource to help with rental conflicts. They were exceedingly helpful. We were assigned a guy who followed through the entire process with us. He spoke with me covering all legal grounds upon which we had to respond to the application, essentially denying its validity. He drafted our submissions that we presented to the adjudicator and even spoke on our behalf in the courtroom, or whatever you call the room in which the case meeting was held. The adjudicator was not pleased with the real estate agent's lack of evidence. But I'll leave it at that, as I'm hoping to not overshare. The whole thing was over in 20 minutes or so. We were informed the application was dismissed and we had every right to stay until the end of our lease. What a relief that was. Our guy from QSTARS informed us to keep him in the loop if any further measures are taken, including any retaliatory actions. All in all, we feel extremely well supported by QSTARS and the tenancy laws. While I want to feel comfortable in our place, we still worry about what may come next. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And there will be retaliatory actions. Slumlords can't help themselves. That was a nice fun little story. I hope it ends well for them. And with some luck maybe they'll be able to buy the unit cheap from the corporation landlords. I hate the Australian rental market, but I love the courts. I once had an estate agent try to make us pay for breaking the lease, producing a doctored lease, to show we'd signed in for a year instead of 6 months. Unfortunately for them, we had emails upon emails where all parties had agreed to 6 months. The court did not take her actions well. The agent still tried to give us hell when moving out though. So I hope OOP is documenting everything that happens from now on, because they're absolutely gonna need it. They really need to ban foreign landlords. So much harder holding them accountable when they aren't in the country. Start saving up to move. You won't be able to renew. The stress of looking over your shoulder because of a landlord conflict has a different monetary value to everyone. For me, I wouldn't want to go through 2.5 years of that. Hoping the best for OOP. Good for them. Landlords sure are an entitled bunch. Oof. It's going to get ugly. I feel for these folks. Landlords sure demand a lot for providing so little. Literally my situation right now. We've got an amazing landlord who is renting far below market value and he's trying to sell. Unfortunately, our lease ends in February. When you buy property that has tenants, you inherit that contract. It's part of the transaction, and is a big part of why the price when a property has tenants is stupid low comparatively. Just because you think you have a really good reason doesn't mean the contract you're subject to. Whether because you signed it or you assumed it after a purchase, doesn't matter. They should start looking for a place to buy and add together the down payment plus all closing costs plus a little more. This should be the number they give to the company as what is needed to buy them out of lease.
Weeps in American.
As someone who has been both a landlord and a renter, I'd try to negotiate again and leave. Go find a new place that works and then figure out what the exact difference is between the two over life of the lease. Tell them that you will leave if they handle the difference plus the original $5,000 for your suffering. There are tons of petty things a landlord can do that don't break the law. The bridge is burned. Get the F out. How do these lease things work? Are rental contracts in Australia always limited to a certain amount of time and then you get kicked out? That seems quite wild from my German perspective. I can't imagine why the first landlord needed to sell.
Landlords are scum.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.